We will continue with our first guest speaker, who is from Pakistan. We welcome Professor Dr. Mohammed Safdar Bhatti.
Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Welcome, Professor.
Okay. Sir, I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, of course, Professor.
Sir, is my screen visible to you?
No, we cannot see your presentation, Professor.
Okay. Now, is it visible now?
Yeah, now we can see your presentation. There is no problem.
So nice of you, sir. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to everyone. This is Dr. Mohammed Safdar Bhatti from the Islamic University of Bahawalpur, Pakistan. First of all, I would like to thank the ORP organization for inviting me over here as a keynote speaker, and that is a great honor for me. And the topic of my today's presentation is Gender Discrimination and Inequalities in Higher Education, a survey, and that is a brief sketch of my talk. Dear audience, gender equality issues are reflected in higher education systems worldwide, with unequal access to higher education in many countries, fewer resources and opportunities available to women, the existence of violence against women affecting students and staff as well. With the prevalence of gender discrimination and social norms and practices, girls become exposed to the possibility of child marriage, teenage pregnancy, child domestic work, poor education and health, sexual abuse, exploitation, and violence. Many of these manifestations will not change unless girls are valued more. In Pakistan, there is a substantial gender disparity in education. Pakistan is a patriarchal society in which women face a wide range of discrimination, leading to a low social, economic, and political status. Gender discrimination is the unequal treatment of people based on their gender that includes granting privileges to a certain gender or marginalizing someone because of their gender identity. Unequal pay, sexual harassment, and restricted or eliminated access to rights like education and healthcare are forms of gender discrimination. On an individual level, stopping gender discrimination requires internal reflection and willingness to change. There has been significant progress in education equality, but gaps remain. According to Global Gender Gap Report in 2020, 88% of females in primary education compared to 91 of the males. The 2021 report stated that with current progress, it will take just over 14 years to close the gap entirely. This is good news, but the report says that there are quality variations based on factors like income and ethnicity. Now, I would like to brief you about the place of women. Basically, women plays important role in every society and every country. In Pakistani society, mostly women play an important role as a mother, wife, sister, and daughter, and fulfill their daily life duties and works day to night. In spite of all these, women consider inferior to men. Mostly in Pakistan, men take decisions as a father, brother, son, and husband, and women remain silent to take decisions about their lives. A woman cannot match the power of a man. She is considered not equal to him. Men considers women live at home and take responsibility to health and children, and women thought unable to taking decisions outside her domain. In Pakistani society, women considered incomplete without men. In Pakistan and Indian cultures, women considered property of men and women follow the rules of men. Women rights are an important issue around the world. Women have been fighting for the same rights as men for a long time. In spite of all this, women face numerous problems in all areas of cultural, political, and economic life. Impact of gender inequality. Dear all, gender inequality and discrimination in higher education may reduce economic growth and gender development. Apart from these intrinsic problems of gender inequality, one may be concerned about instrumental effects of gender bias. Gender inequality may have adverse impacts on a number of valuable development goals. Gender bias in education is a pervasive issue that can have long-term consequences on students' lives. Gender stereotypes can affect students' self-esteem, academic performance, and career aspirations. So it is crucial to address it in textbooks and teaching materials. There are some causes of inequality. Over the years, the world has got closer to achieving gender equality. There is better representation of women in politics, more economic opportunities, and better health care in many places of the world. However, the World Economic Forum estimates that it will take another century before true gender equality becomes a reality. So these are some adverse causes of inequality. First one is the uneven access to education, lack of employment equality, job segregation, lack of legal protections, lack of bodily autonomy, poor medical care, lack of religious freedom, lack of political representation, racism, and societal mindset. Dear all, gender discrimination is deeply rooted in the Pakistani society. To prevent gender discrimination, the entire society, especially women, should be educated and gendered sensitized to improve the status of women in Pakistan. When gender inequality in education rises, it has an impact on families' socio-economic position. While on the macro level, gender disparities in education lead to the underutilization of human capital, which has the potential to stifle economic growth. Female discrimination is present due to economic socio-cultural norms in Pakistan. Gender discrimination is mostly influenced by tribal, feudal, and religious social formations. Rural females are suffering more in terms of getting education. Government seats are mostly occupied by males. That is a proposed multi-dimension based index. First one is the women empowerment. For them, there should be an education, proper health care, violence, and time. If we talk about the significance of the study, gender equality has come a long way in the past few years and decades. There are more women with access to education at the tertiary level, more women in senior leadership positions, and women's rights have developed significantly. But much more is still to be achieved since women continue to face violence and discrimination. On average, women earn lower salaries and have lower levels of access to education compared to men. In this context, institutions of higher education can be critical actors for change. They can make certain that their female students have equal chances regarding applications, admissions, and completion rates. They can teach curricula that promote gender equality and gender equity, as well as equal representation. The current study will be helpful for higher education institutions to pilot their curriculum to include topics related to gender equity and equality as building tolerance and awareness in the first step to taking this movement forward. The objectives of my study were to understand the background of gender inequality against women, to identify the problems and issues related to gender issues against women, to explore factors of inequality against women, to find out causes currently implemented about gender issues against women, and to make suggestions and appropriate solutions to reduce gender issues against women in Pakistan. And my research questions were, what are the main causes behind inequality against women in Bahawalpur, Pakistan? Which factor is most effective in gender inequality against women? Why are men more violent than women? What are the effects of inequality on women and their family life? Now, I would like to move towards the literature review. Dear all, inequality between men and women is considered by many to be the most long-standing form of social justice. Although important changes have occurred in recent decades, the global situation is still far from the ideal situation where all people, despite their gender, are free to be and do what they wish and have the ability and resources to move from one place to another, the right to attend school, to have the bank account, or to own assets. For the purpose of promoting gender equality, some instructions of measure of inequalities have been created. One of them being is the Gender Inequality Index. Now, I would like to move to the research methodology. It was a survey-based research based on quantitative approach and random sampling was done. 200 female students from the Nursing College, the Islamic University of Bahawalpur, Pakistan, participated in this study. And a questionnaire was used as a tool to collect the data from the respondents. And that is a data analysis. And these are some factors which I deduced from the collected data. Women empowerment, 80% students agreed. Education, 70% agreed. Healthcare, 90% agreed. Violence, 70% agreed. And time, 50% agreed. And that is the graphic description. Dear all, since the world has rapidly turned into the global village in very short span of time by entering into the 21st century, the advanced communication has made everything available at the doorsteps. Huge developments in every sphere of life have been taken place, despite human beings have still been accomplishing much more, out of which the inequality and gender disparity is one of those concerns being faced by the world. So gender disparity in a worldwide phenomena. The disparity is not only with respect to opportunities and resources, but also in rewards and exists in all regions and classes. Gender disparity exists in the field of education as well. Females experience overt and subtle gender discrimination to some extent, nearly at every stage of their career. Males represent the majority of the faculty of higher education institutions across the globe. Managerial positions are usually held by males who not only have more decision-making power, but also have more opportunities of social networking. Women have to achieve a successful career at the cost of their family life. Now, before leaving, I would like to give some suggestions. Dear all, nowadays, mostly Pakistani women are active to take part in every field like health, politics, even in labor, and especially in education sector, from lower to higher education. Pakistani women are also playing the important role in the field of education, especially in educational administrative positions from lower to higher education. The women leaders might be given career, managerial, and administrative related opportunities and support and encouragement from their high-ups and stakeholders for carrying out their leadership responsibilities. Following suggestions are to ensure equal access to education, empower women in the workplace, protect reproductive rights, and strengthen legal protections, achieve better political representation, and prioritize the most marginalized, and provide better medical care. And these were some references from which I got help. Thanks for your patience. And any question, please. That's all, my dear, from my side.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, Professor.
Sorry,
I would like to ask a question. What
yes.
about the payments? Do you have any idea or information about it between the genders
Yes, sir.
in this? Yeah.
Actually, if a man is getting, let's suppose, 1 lakh, then woman is getting 50 lakh. There is a 50% payments are made to the female. I don't know why it is going to be done. I think we should give due respect to their work, and women are more responsible and they give more, I think, attention towards their work. But in spite of that, especially at the school level, especially in the private schools, there are some females which can be hired just for 10,000 rupees. But the male persons are going to be hired for 50,000 rupees. So, sir, this is the difference between the male and the female.
Thank you so much for your answer, Professor. Is there any more questions or contributions? Okay, I think there is no questions for now. Thank you again. Thanks so much.
So nice of
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Sıradaki konuşmacımız Doçent Doktor Gülay Yılmazel. Buyursunlar.